Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining everybody for another whiskey review. Today, we are going to talk about something that is landing inside my top 10 of the year so far. It is right there at number 6 as of recording in May of 2024. So, a lot of the year left to go, but this is a pretty incredible pour. It is the best pour I've had so far from this particular company and this particular brand. So, wanted to highlight it a little bit, talk about it, and also highlight the fact that this is kind of becoming the year of the rye. If you are following whiskey very closely, there has been just so many amazing ryes that I've gotten in just the last 4 to 5 months that it actually boggles my mind. I think the main thing I am drinking right now are rye whiskeys. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as well. So thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. So we are talking about a rye whiskey today. And as I mentioned off the top, my favorite release so far, I think, from this particular brand, at least in terms of when it has come back. So what we're talking about today is the OKI 11 year. Now, if you aren't familiar with OKI, OKI is a brand originally started by New Riff and they sold it. And since then, the people that have it now have been, reviving the brand up, releasing bourbons, releasing MGP, doing their own blends. And one of the things I always love about the OKI is that they do keep this picture of the Roebling Bridge, which is between Cincinnati and Covington, Kentucky. I walk across this bridge sometimes during my lunch break if I have to go out, clear my head, get a good walk. This is the view that I get. So I always love it when they include this on the labels. So it is a brand that is near and dear to my heart. Do root for them, and I think these are the best casks that they've gotten so far with these 11-year ryes. So with this one, let me pull up the stats. So what we're looking at here is an 11-year MGP rye. So OKI does get most of their barrels from MGP, though they have been dabbling in some other distilleries such as Middle West and Bardstown. But primarily, it's usually MGP coming out of Indiana. Got this one for $120. Now, $120 for an 11-year rye, to me, is a really good price. There are a lot of people out there that are trying to get similar bottles for $150, $200, $250 with an age statement like this on a rye. Got this one particularly from Revival Vintage Bottle Shop. We'll see if I can get the sticker there to show up. It's going to white out a little bit. But yeah, Revival here in Covington, Kentucky. Really cool spot. Took Shayla from Whiskey Central and a couple other whiskey friends there recently. That's actually where I got this bottle. And get to do like $5 pours of like 1960s Johnny Walker Black Label and 1970s Jim Beam. It's always a good time. But this is a pick that they did, and man, there's a couple other groups in the area that got picks as well. So I was very interested in seeing these type of barrels. There's also a barrel of Traverse City that Durrell did a review on just a couple weeks ago. That was also an 11-year rye that presented itself very well. That one's actually my highest scoring whiskey of the year, the Traverse City one. So I've been dabbling in these older ryes all year, and this one did stick out to me. I got a little sample of it while I was at the store, and immediately I was like, well, you're coming home with me. Like, that was like the instantaneous decision. So it's 122.1 proof. And as I've said a few times, it's age stated at 11 years, and this is a single barrel. So let's get into the taste here. And if you're interested in picking this up, you have to live in the Northern Kentucky area or go to Revival. Check it out on their website, but you can pick this thing up. But just want to highlight the fact that there are some good ryes out there, and he's giving this away at a good price. So let's get into the nose here. Cheers, everybody. So the thing that's going to stick out on this one, if you don't like minty ryes, this one won't be for you. To me, I find it very refreshing in combination with the level of oak that's going on in this as well. It's got this yin yang thing going on where the mint, the brightness of the mint, and the darkness of the oak are just working in tandem and in harmony. Lots of fruits going on as well. I'd say they're more in the tropical range. I get it more pronounced when we get into the palate with like a mango note, but there's some fruits going on. And then it's almost like it's not the doughiness of a cinnamon roll, but almost the cinnamon swirl of the cinnamon roll with the sweet cream frosting. All right, that's what I get on the nose there. So for the nose on this particular pour, gave this one a thumbs up, teetered on giving it two thumbs up. I think there are some ryes that I've had that are this more ultra aged, get some more complexity out of it per se, but man, everything about this one makes me smile as well. So teetered between one thumb or two thumbs. Let's get into the taste. Hmm. Incredibly viscous up front. The thing that sticks out to me the most is the fruits that are going on here. Tons of fruits. Sways into the tropical range and a mango. I'm still going to go with a mango on this one. That's not the first time I've thrown out that note this year. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's something going on with MGP and this mango note. So intrigued by it. And it's not toasted or anything. And I'm getting this more natural mango note. Lots of sweetness, lots of spice up front. Uh, Mid palate, that mint really comes roaring back, but it is balanced by essentially that oak, which somewhat presents itself as, say, dark chocolate, maybe like the inside layer of a lava cake type of a richness on that. Not overly sweet per se, but it does balance out well with that mint. Let me go in for another taste, see if I get anything else. I think that about sums it up there. Ooh, we got a lot more sweetness on that one. Such a good rye. I'm going to give thumbs up on that one as well. Once again, I think the only thing that's going to hold this pour back from getting a bit higher of a score is going to be just straightforwardness, lack of complexity compared to what I've had on some other ryes recently. But you're going to see it's not going to hold it back by the end. So let's get into the finish. Ah, beautiful. Nice long finish. It's mostly all those same flavors. So everything I've been saying about the mint, the chocolate, the tropical fruits, those just continue to shine through, play through. Still tasting the finish now. Just about now is where the finish starts transitioning into vanilla and just straight rye spice. Like it gets spicier and spicier the longer you sit with it, and on subsequent sips, like it's almost like making my entire mouth just uh salivate because it's so spicy. It's hard to even talk through as I go through with it. So let me take another sip of this. Mm. So with that said, I do think the finish on this is the highlight of the experience. I'm going to give the finish on this thing two thumbs up. I love it. It's so delicious. And I just salivate more and more. It just makes me want to take more of a pour, but at the same time, I'm conflicted because it's like it's so delicious. I want more, but I'm also still enjoying it because it's got such a long finish. The things we struggle with. So, all in all, very, very delicious rye. Summarizing the scores, we got a 3-tier scoring system here. There's a whole bunch of metrics behind the scenes that play into this, but it gets summarized into a flavor score, experience score, value score. Flavor score gave it an 85, experience score gave it an 86, value score gave it 100. I mean, $120 for this type of experience on an 11-year rye is really, really good. Once again, I know companies that are trying to charge $150 for this same experience, so appreciate what Revival was doing with the price on this one and what OKI was doing there. So in summary, that comes out to an 87. I'm still tasting this finish. Oh my god, it's so hard to talk through that rice spice. The final score was an 87 out of 100, and anything over an 85 gets our certified gold stamp. So this gets the ribbon here. And then to put that into context, this is my 6th highest rated bottle of the year out of 26 bottles reviewed thus far. All-time rank 31 out of 178. So upper tier pour, particularly for a rye, one of the better ryes that I have on my bar at the moment. And I kind of knew it the moment that I had the sample glass and took a sniff of it. And I was just like, yeah, you're coming home with me. I mean, it was love at first sight. And it's playing through right now. It's actually getting better and better with each subsequent sitting with this thing. So if you are in Northern Kentucky, keep this one in mind. If you know any of your local groups that were doing this too, I mean, help support them. OKI has some good casts here. I think these are the best casts that OKI has gotten their hands on so far, or at least amongst the ones that I've had a chance to try. This is my favorite pour of the new era of OKI, and I hope they keep this momentum going. So thank you for joining me today, Whiskey Friends. If you've tried anything from OKI before, let me know in the comments. If you think this is the year of the rise, let me know what rise you are sipping on, and we'll catch you on the next whiskey review. Goodbye, everybody.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again.